Hello, this is Star, and today I am going to make what I am calling a bass buddy. It's going to be a MIDI tool that's created in Note Grid that allows me to take a melody or something in the higher than C2 or at least 3 type of octaves and drags it down, and then on occasion changes it up a little bit. So it's not just playing the same notes as the one higher. So to demonstrate, I have Melody Sauce here. And it's generating a melody that's going into this piano. And then I have a cough coming on. Anyways, I have a second track that's taking that melody sauce and then piping it through the note grid so that we can mess with it, and then going into a second piano. So right now, as we're playing it, you can see that there's MIDI coming in by the yellow, but no MIDI coming out. That is because I kind of disabled the MIDI source here and the gate here, because we're gonna do stuff with it. Now, normally, what you would probably do is you would see if I can find it really quick. Is you take the octaver here, and then you knock it down. And that's okay if you want it. For one, it'll always be 2 octaves down from where it is, and then two, it follows the same melody and rhythm pattern, and I kind of don't want that. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of come up with another gate sequence here. As you can tell, it's kind of working. One of the things that you can do is that we're going to use the array trick that we were looking in the last video, and we're going to kind of take that, read this as input, if we can. There we go. Put this as input, and then put the trigger to be on every note that comes out, so that we can tell it to either read or write, or read in every time it triggers, I think is what we discovered. And then we're going to take a constant. We're going to tie 1 to both read and write, so we want the first positions. I think the gate here is kind of going short for the MIDI. Give me a second. Okay, I kind of fixed it up. So kind of gonna be honest, stole this from stole this from Polarity. Basically, this is going through the gates, and then has a triggers up to 16 here, and then goes into a clock quantizer to make it kind of on beat, and then going into the gate. Okay, and then because what we're doing is that we're reading in the pitch from the melody sauce here. So let's change up the melody a bit. And as I move it up into octaves, the bass thing keeps it just went up along with it. So we're gonna the next step is we're gonna fix that. So we have this octaver right here. We can manually adjust it down to, or we can have something that automatically reads it and adjusts it to the correct pitch, or the correct octave, I should say. So realistically, what we want to do is we want to get in these logic gates, and we want to say, A, is the pitch greater than a number, and then use the correct octave for that, right? So we're gonna take this out for now. We're gonna say pipe it into here, and we're gonna say, is this pitch greater than? And then we're gonna, for the first one, I'm gonna say C1. And so that means everything that's greater than C1, which is mostly everything, it's gonna gate this and say yes, it is. So that's what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up. This is gonna get really messy really quick. So I'm gonna have to create some space here. Move this out of the way. All right, so we're gonna say everything from C1 and up. We want to have that gate, and then what we want to do is we want to use the mixing here, and we want to use the merge. And then what we say is that if it is, is it? Or no, it's the select I'm thinking about. There you go. The select, and we're saying, hey, if it is, take it from this source, and then say, I mean, if it's not, then take it from the source, but if it is, then what we're going to do is we're going to take it, we're going to send the octaver here, and we're going to say, hey, I think I got my logic a little bit messed up. If it's greater than C1, then we need to do, all right, I had to change around the logic for a bit because I think this will work and it's easily copyable. But basically, we have two paths. We have the set in, and then if this is true, it does this one. If it's false, then it goes this one, right? And so if it's true and it's above C6, I got this wrong again. Because what we want is to be able to get it down a path of when we want to use the octaver. And the reason I have two of them here is because if it's higher than 3, you have to kind of double it to get the right one. So basically, so right now it's at C1 going through, and so if we use a different thing that says, hey, if it's not on here, then we have to do it again. So basically, I want to step down for each pitch that it's through. I want to step down a bit. So I'm gonna work with this a bit more and see if I can get a better view of this, or a better way of explaining this. Okay, I think it went a little crazy, but I think I got something. Let me pop this out so I can get a bigger picture of it. So this is sort of crazy, but it starts off with the C6 here, and says that if anything is bigger than C6, then knock it down. Otherwise, it goes down to C5, and it just keeps on going down, and then the octaver here keeps on going down, and it starts off with 5, then 4, then just 3, then 2, and then basically I would copy this, undo this right here, because basically we want one more. So we're going to move this, we're going to kind of copy the pattern here. and we're going to knock it down to C2, and then we're going to move this up. And then we're going to say, we're going to patch everything out of this one into here. And then it should take care of, oh yeah, and we need to knock it down an octave to -1. So now everything should be covered from C2 to C, that one. Okay, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. So now everything on here, for whatever key I press, oh yeah, I took off the melody sauce for testing of this, driving me nuts. Let me dock this back in there. Okay, so we're gonna look at the incoming here, over here, and then the incoming over here, and then I'm gonna press a button, and it's incoming 4, outgoing C1. Incoming 5, outgoing C1. A3, C1, A1. D3, D1. B2, B1. Now we have a thing that will always play the correct octave. Basically a C1 through a G2 octave, no matter where you play on the keyboard. So it's already in the bass. Now, if you wanted to mess around with it and say, hey, I want to keep it in bass in the second octave, you can mess around with the stuff in here. But this will always keep it in the octave. So now we can turn the thing back on. Okay, the melody is kind of weird. Let me try changing up the melody. Now, any octave I use, it'll clearly play the bass on the correct octave every time. So regardless of basically, you don't have to have a melody sauce here for it to work like this. This should work with literally anything that you have that's going on the first thing. So you can have a MIDI thing here and have it piping into here, or a scalar too, or Captain chords. Basically any MIDI tool or any type of thing, as long as you have it routing into another track for the MIDI, then it should work fine. Or if I just want to play notes up here, and I got my little bass groove going. Kind of cool. I said groove, and it's kind of groove, but I think the next part is one more thing is we need to add is something that will deviate the notes from what's actually been played 20% of the time. So it's like kind of a dice roll. We'll mess with the thing, and the what I was thinking is basically on the 20%, move it up or down a fifth or a third of whatever, because normally you would play the root note of whatever chord you're playing, right? So this is just going down basically whatever chord you're whatever key you're playing, D or B or whatever. It just goes down to the bass of it and then plays that one. So let's consider that the root note, right? So what I want to do is go a third up or a fifth up, depending on what key you're playing, and I will only want that to happen 20% of the time. So basically, it'll kind of override the key that it's playing, so it doesn't always play the same key, always playing the same note. So that's going to be kind of interesting. So I know it's going to involve the dice, and then I got to figure out how to correctly go up a fifth in the grid. Um, I am going to save that for the next episode or the next video. I think I'm not really exactly sure on the time, but it's probably, if you notice my clock, it probably took a while for me to figure this video out. So I want to kind of wrap it off here. I'm gonna save. Um, I'm gonna save my project, and I'm gonna work on it again in the next video. Hope you liked it. Hopefully this was kind of interesting for you. I might be able to save the preset out and throw it on a Google Drive somewhere for the next video once I'm finished with this, and give it out if people want it. Either way, hopefully you could use it as a guide to if you were wanting to create something on your own MIDI tool wise. Um, this is getting there to be somewhat interesting for experimental type stuff and or live playing, to mess around trying to get some inspiration or something, as an accompaniment baseline, I would say. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.